Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Downing, and here it is, the SNES-001 Advance. It's finally complete, with the exception of maybe just a couple more cosmetic things that I might want to change on one of the controllers, but for all purposes, really, it's done. What you're looking at right now is the casing for the unit, the two controllers, and the two special cables that's needed to hook up the video and audio to them. It's a nice little pine wooden box that they made up from scratch with a Lexan covering and some nice LEDs in the background with a water slide decal. But you can open it up. We've got two little latches down here that keep everything closed. And up it goes. And there it is. So what I'm going to do is just kind of do a small unboxing here in just a second. Got to prop this lid up a little bit more, otherwise it hits on the power jack for the LEDs and they kind of flicker, so that's never fun. But I will be right back and we'll go through the system. Okay. So other than obviously the custom paint job and water slide decals on the actual unit itself, this unit is modded to have actual additional video and audio outputs along with power. Basically what we have here on the front and bottom are two extra controller ports that basically just have lines tapped off of the motherboard for audio, video, and power. There are other ways I would have done this now, but when I first started, I didn't really know a whole lot of what I was doing other than just a concept test, but it looked kind of cool regardless, and the fact that it worked out just was even better. But the same ports that the audio, video, and power are all wired to the same spot on the underside. So this unit is modded on the inside so that the wires can go from the back to the front to these ports, and that's about it. I did like how well the paint job came out though. The water slide stickers, they came out alright, they suit the purpose, but they're just not quite as clean and crisp as they were when I first put them on. Next is two of these cables. Now, the difference between these, obviously this is the port that you plug into the bottom, and the backing is open on this one, but it's not on the other one. I still got to close that up. But basically power, ground, audio, and video all go through these ports and up here. The ground lines are intertwined in the sheathing here because these are shielded cables, so I don't have interference because they are about 6 feet long. And up here, this is the stereo 3.5 millimeter plug and the mono 2.5 millimeter plug. This carries the power and ground, and this carries audio, video, and ground. So those all plug in to the tops of the controllers, which I'll show you here in a minute. But pretty basic. I put in strain reliefs on here, so when people are actually pulling on the wire, it might not actually pull on the head, but more in towards here. And same idea with these plugs, that if someone starts pulling on the cables, the plugs will pull out of the jacks before it'll cause any damage to the innards. Controller 1, this was the prototype model. It was the one that I started out with first, and it got pretty much taken apart, put back together, changed around, and everything like that. So cosmetically, it's not in the finest of shapes. But it is functional and serves the purpose, and everything, all the buttons and everything have been reinforced so that there's really no chance of these under normal playing circumstances to be pushed through or snapped like I was running into before. And there's no label buttons or anything on this one because it's just, like I said, this was the trial version. But you got your start, select. These are the 3 buttons that control the screen contrast and all its options, and this is the volume buttons. PS1 screen speaker and a 3.5-inch backup screen from eBay. L and R buttons. And this is the jack, the plug for just regular controller. This actually goes direct to the original SNES controller on the inside. So you just plug that in as normal. And there are the power jacks and the audio video jacks. This is just a covered up hole because I changed things around a little bit. And controller number 2, which is a lot more aesthetically pleasing, but again still has its issues. Put the on-off switch on the outside as opposed to being put on the inside just because it looks more finished. Kept with the original start select style of the Super Nintendo, as well as instead of actually just drilling any of these holes, I Franken cased them in, and that's what caused this to push through when someone was pushing too hard. The joint was actually giving way, not the buttons. And same deal with here, and I opened it up and just put super glue, wood, pine, screws, you name it, it's in there now to actually hold things in place. Same deal with the screen, speaker, and audio amp. The audio amp was from a little iPod speaker that you could get off of eBay for like $5. But I moved the volume buttons to these tack switches up here to kind of keep the face a bit cleaner. And these are the screen controls. So slight differences, but overall the same deal. Oh, and I didn't show you the other one, but when you plug it in, if the SNES is plugged in, these LEDs on the back will light up and let you know there's power going to the unit. But let me set this thing up and I'll show you a demo of it in action. Okay, so here we are set up, a little bit of Donkey Kong Country. I'm going to try and do this without knocking anything over, but here is the second controller, which I'll be using for the demonstration purposes. But as you can tell, it's in the off position, and the audio video is not connected yet. So, plug that in. Plug that in. And apparently, if you push that button while this system's on, it acts as a reset manual. So, yeah, watch out for that. But anyway, we've got everything plugged in, ready to go. Oh yes, and there's the LED, nice and bright. Hit the power switch, and there we go. Those are the screen controls. Volume up. Volume down. And let's see if I can do this. I just gotta be careful because I got that glare. But you can see there's no sync issues whatsoever. And this works the same way with another controller as well. I've kidnapped that lumbering fool. Everything is very responsive. All the controls work great. But you get the general idea. And 2-player is just as fun. But anyway, that's about it. This is going to be for sale on eBay. Not really sure what the starting bid's going to be and whatnot, but it should be up there within the next week or so. And as always, be sure to check us out at the forums madebyBacteria.com, and also my site, downingsbasement.wordpress.com. You can even see that. But regardless, that's where I am. That's where all the updates can be found, and we look forward to seeing you there. Take it easy.